Welcome to another edition of the Moose's LZ Bar and Grill Weekend Wrap, where we highlight a few of the storylines that occurred over the weekend. Before we get started with the racing, don't forget to head out to Moose's LZ Bar and Grill for some great food at a great price. You won't regret it. Tires are where we begin this week. And Hoosier Tire in Indiana is out, as in nada, zero, bupkis, whatever adjective you want to use to describe their situation with the H15 right rear tires. It's a really dicey situation and makes it critical in Central PA, where last weekend we had 5 races, including 3 All-Star Circuit of Champion events. There's a bunch of haves and there's a bunch of have-nots. We're all over the map in regard to what teams are in what situation. The bigger teams who prepared ahead of time or kind of saw this coming on the horizon, and there are a few, are good to go, no problems. There's some lower teams who are lucky to have 1 or even 2 tires in their stable, and will have to depend on used tires. Where this gets interesting in is obviously the dealers are out. Miller's Racing Products is out. Dietrich is out. Kreitz Oval is out. This situation is escalating in other areas of the country as well. The All-Stars have already banged out Bedford as of this taping, and mainly because of tires, and they're going to reevaluate some of their other races. I do know that they're going to go ahead with Lernerville and Sharon this weekend. But this crisis is going to bubble over this weekend. As of now, no track is canceling in central Pennsylvania. Williams Grove is a go, Port, Lincoln, and BAPS. We have 4 races. But this is going to get interesting because there's going to be guys running used tires. And the question becomes, how's that going to affect the playing field as far as competition? Who's going to even show up? What are car counts going to be? There's a lot of factors going into the weekend. It should be noted that Hoosier Tire plans to start a run on Thursday, April 28th, and will continue to produce H15 right rears at an alarming rate up through May 9th. And I guess we're predicting somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,800 tires to be produced in that time period. The problem becomes they have to be spread across the country. How long and how far do they go? And when's the next run? And how does this kind of translate into the rest of the season? Is this something we're going to have to deal with for just in May? Is it going to go into June? And hey, Speed Week in Ohio, mid-June, end of June, Pennsylvania Speed Week takes place. 400 tires were used. Right rears alone were used last year in 10 races at Speed Week. So a lot of questions and not enough answers moving forward. That's going to take us to Anthony Macri. And, sprint car racing has changed a bit over the years. The parity is at an all-time high. Cars are pretty equal. And you don't see guys going on these long winning streaks like Doug Wolfgang did in 1985 when he won 17 straight races, or maybe some of the runs Donnie Schatz and Steve Kinzer have had over the years. Well, Anthony Macri is the exception, and what he's doing is incredible over the last couple weeks. He's put together, as of last week, we rolled into Bloomsburg for the All-Star races, and he won on Thursday night. That gave him 4 straight. He won 2 of 3 over this weekend, beat the All-Stars again at Port Royal, won at Selinsgrove. He has now won 6 out of his last 7 events, which, again, is incredible in this day and age of sprint car racing. The 8 wins he already has this season, again, are impressive. But to me, it's the way he's won that sticks out. He's shown patience when he's needed to. He's run multiple grooves. He's won on the high side, the low side. If you saw the highlights from Port Royal, the battle he had with Logan Wagner, he was on the top to catch Logan, passed him. Then he switched to the bottom to hold Logan Wagner off, who's really good. Logan Wagner's really good at Port Royal. So it was impressive to see. And I'm anxious to see how Anthony Macri progresses. Again, showing improvement with each passing win. He continues to work on his craft. And now let's see how he develops over the rest of the year, what numbers he can rack up and how he progresses in years to come in his career. Hey, stay tuned and bring on Bristol, baby. He'll be there next week. That takes us over to Carson Macedo. We talked about him last week, and I mentioned that I feel he could win the most races with the World of Outlaws season, and I got to thank him. It feels awful good when you talk about a driver and he comes back and makes you look real smart by winning the following week. In all seriousness, Macedo winning at Hopstadt's no surprise. He won the two previous World of Outlaw events there, so obviously he was good at that speedway. He now has 4 wins in 2022, which is double any other driver with the series. Again, I'm not saying that Macedo is going to win the title. He's still 44 points behind Brad Sweet, who is a model of consistency and can go on these types of runs as well, where he wins a lot of races, similar to what, say, Anthony Macri is doing in Central PA. Macedo, though, can win the most races. He is an established threat every time he touches the speedway. And again, don't be surprised if he's better than he was last year when he reached double-digit wins with the series and also won a crown jewel at the Williams Grove National Open. I think he can still win more races. I said it last week. I'm saying it again. And I think he could end up winning, say, Bristol this week. Obviously, the motors are good. Philip Dietz is one of the best crew chiefs in the country, and he can just further pad his stats. Again, stay tuned and bring on Bristol, baby. That's going to wrap up this edition of the Moose's LZ Bar and Grill Weekend Wrap. For more coverage of sprint car racing, head over to sprintcarunlimited.com for news, notes, results, our weekly podcasts, and much more. Just $35 for a yearly subscription. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned.